Okay, guys. I'll try to help you any way I can.
Greg, would Noah have gone back in the game if it was a closer score at the end, or was he injured?
Right now we're figuring it out, Cratch. He was injured. With time, it felt better. We asked him to throw. I didn't see any of this. I was watching, coaching, and we looked at it, and Sean just didn't feel like he was sharp enough to put back in the game. So we'll see how that is tomorrow.
Coach, any update on Aaron?
He has a shoulder. I'm not sure how bad it is yet. We'll know that tomorrow. But it was bad enough that he couldn't play anymore.
Greg, I know it wasn't just the offense that was the problem today, but you struggled to score in the red zone, two top playmakers out, offensive line's having trouble blocking. I mean, what level of concern do you have with that unit overall right now?
Not like I look at this game, we gave up big plays. We gave up 4 big plays. Like, we haven't done that. We haven't given up big plays. You give up big plays, it's going to be hard to do anything, right? You're behind the 8 ball. I thought we did some things offensively that I was happy with. We are missing some guys, but that's the way college football goes, right? I mean, you have to play with who you have. Uncharacteristically, we had 7 penalties today. I think we had 4 holding calls. That's something we've been really good at. We've worked really hard at it. It's hard to understand why, right? And you go 5 games, and it's not like we didn't play elite competition. Sometimes the elite competition will raise your penalties, but that hurt us today. If you think about some of those drives, and then you get grabbed like that. But it's tough. But the guys, we have a group of guys there that are really working hard and didn't get discouraged. They knew they were a little shorthanded today, and they went and fought and had an opportunity to win. We had an opportunity to win for the better part of this football game, even though we didn't play well. In areas, I shouldn't say that some guys did play well, but in areas we didn't play well enough to win, and that's why we didn't win. But it was still a game for the better part of the game, and that to me shows that we just got to keep going. It's not time to panic. Got a lot of football left. After 6 games, we're back to neutral. So here we go.
Was there anything in the first half with Naylor that you guys just didn't execute? He had 200 yards in the first half. I think you shut him down.
There's a lot of things. Yeah, there's no doubt there was. Yeah. One of the things that we talk about is eye discipline. And in football, you have to keep your eyes where they're supposed to be. And when you don't, you can get in trouble. And that's exactly what happened to us. We just didn't have great eye discipline. It's not when you do that, it's not where you do something that's really bad. You're really actually trying to help more. But you have to do your job, and your job is to keep your eye on that guy. And when you don't, it can affect you.
What does it mean to you to have Eric inducted into the Hall of Fame this weekend?
I think that's really special. It's well-deserved and really represents what I believe Rutgers is all about. Just hard-working, tough, relentless people. And Eric represents that better than anyone I've ever met. And his positive outlook on life, even though he's been dealt the worst hand you can imagine, that just says everything to me. So when I heard that had happened, I was really, really happy for him and his family. And like I said, well-deserved.
Will you have him speak to the team this season?
At some point, he always does. He comes around. He sees our team more than a little. So, yeah, but he's a great inspiration to a lot of people.
Greg, you mentioned obviously being at the midway point of the season. I mean, what do you feel like you want to see next in these next 6 games to kind of get back to the consistent level that you were at?
Yeah, I don't really think of it as 6 games. I think of it as 1 game. We have 1 game, and that's Northwestern next week, and we have a lot of work between now and then. When I address the team, in my own head, I'm saying, all right, we got good thing. It's an early game. We got to get everybody feeling a little bit better. We got to figure out what we can do better. Who else can we fit into this mix? Because we have a lot of good players. We need to get everybody playing. Everybody that can contribute has to play. And we're moving in that direction. We got to help. Everybody's got to help. The good thing is I think we have a team and a group of guys that is unselfish and that wants nothing more than to win these games. And they're going to do whatever we ask them to do. That's a trait that as a head coach you're very, very appreciative of.
Keontae, Desmond. How encouraging is it to see those guys get in there and start to perform and for the rest of the season as well?
Well, those are some of the guys I'm talking about. I think we have some guys. Now, Christian got banged up, so in goes Dez, and I thought he did a good job, right? I think when you have opportunities, like those guys have been getting more work in practice, as you know. And as they get better and better, they earn the trust of the coaching staff. And we're at the point, Robert Longerbeam played a lot. Robert's worked his way into being a guy that can play for us. So that's good. We're developing some depth as we go. The offensive line, we have to continue to do that. And I think we're ready to play some more guys. We need to make sure that we play and use every bit of talent we have.
Piggybacking off the offensive line, it seems like you're mixing and matching at left tackle. I know Raekwon was out, but Noah seemed like he was under duress for a good portion of the day, sacked 4 times. How much of a concern is and do you still need to mix and match there?
Well, you don't mix and match because it's all good, right? We're mixing and matching to try to find a combination that can get the job done. And when you have guys that are of like ability and perform similarly in practice and in games, then you play them both. Right? You hope that someone's going to take off and go. I think Holland Pierce is becoming more and more of a consistent guy that he's playing darn near every play. So we need more guys to just develop, and we need to coach them to develop them. They're not going to develop on their own. And I think Coach Orick's doing a great job. He's developing. You all want it to happen faster. I mean, all of us do. But it's not an easy position to learn, to become an expert at. We just got to keep working at it.
Greg, Taekwon, did that happen this morning, last night? Was that a thing you guys expected, or was it kind of sudden?
No, it happened a little earlier in the week. Wasn't really sure what the situation was going to require, but I'm always going to put our player safety and our staff safety first. Doesn't all that stuff. These are somebody's kids, and these are somebody's parents. Right, so I look at it, and somebody's husband. So I look at it that way, and if we're going to err, we're going to err on the side of caution. So I expect Ty hopefully to be back with us soon. But it's just, again, people are, well, that's what you do. Right? That's what we do. You just keep going. Figure out the next step. Some guys stepped up today. Andrew D'Arienzo, who's a graduate assistant, he stepped up, did a great job. That's what we need.
At the end of the first half, did you go into that scenario knowing you were going to fake the third timeout, or is that something that happens at the very last minute?
You know what? It's more of a feel thing, Steve. But yeah, like I've been doing this a long time, and you get kind of a feel. You can think back to some other games, but the reality is sometimes you burn a timeout and the guy misses it when you call the timeout, right? When you call it the last second, he misses when you say, I shouldn't have called the timeout. There's no science to it. You just go on your gut. When you have them, you can't take them with you. They go away at the half, so we decided to use 2 of the 3. It's not a real science. Guys, I appreciate it, and hopefully we'll get to see some of you guys out in Chicago. Thanks.